Grandsires, welcome to this video! Woo! As you read by the title, this video is going to be all about me using Udemy to learn more about Premiere Pro. And as y'all may know, I'm pretty good at using Premiere Pro because I used it for the past 4 years. But in the month of March, I wanted to see if there was more I could learn with this Udemy course. The particular course I did was Masterclass for Premiere Pro, something like that, and I basically learned a lot about Premiere Pro. It was more for all levels of Premiere Pro, like beginner to expert, but it was still pretty cool to learn more about Premiere Pro, and that's what I did for the past month of March. It was like 22 sections worth of lessons, and it was pretty fun to do. In this video, I want to share how that was like. So with that being said, enjoy the video. Let's get started. Yes, that is right. It was finally time to get started. I started doing the course on March 4th. The first thing that was in the course was an intro video, and here's a little bit of that.
Welcome to the Premiere Pro course. I'm so excited to have you here. In this video, I just want to give you an overview of what to expect from this course and how to have a great experience taking it.
Basically, he introduced himself and talked about the download materials that I need for this course. If you want to watch the full intro video, I would download the course. Anyway, after the intro video, I said this. Alright y'all, I just watched the intro video for section 1 of the Premiere Pro course, and now we're onto the download course workbook, whatever it's called, and there's resources, and if we scroll down, you'll see there's 22 lessons, so I guess this is gonna be shorter than a month, so we'll see how this goes. Day 1 is this, introduction to Premiere Pro course, and then other stuff, so basically what we're gonna do each section per day until, well, we're done. So let's download the course workbook and yeah, we'll get started. I guess resources, and I guess right here is what we're downloading. So resources, it should be in my downloads now. Sweet, it is. I do have a file called Premiere Pro videos, so we're just gonna pop it in there, and then we'll continue the rest of section 1. The first thing that I had to download was this work course book, and it basically went over everything that I would have to do throughout the course. After reading the course book, I had to watch a video about the course, and here's a clip of that.
Making sourdough bread. And so this is the project that we're going to be creating through this.
As y'all saw, I was about editing the sourdough bread commercial, and here's my reaction to that. Pretty sure you heard by the video. We got some files we need to download, so we're gonna have resources to see what we get. Looks like it's downloading for a while, as you can see. But this is gonna be, I guess, the files we're working with. But we'll see once it's done. As you saw by part of the video, it's this sourdough bread thing. I don't know. Alright, got the zip files he was talking about. So we're gonna go to downloads and move that into the folder that we're gonna work on. After that, I proceeded to look at everything I downloaded in the resources folder, and I downloaded some music, the videos I needed, letterboxes, pictures, and a bunch of stuff like that for this project. After that, I read a quick note about the course, and I also watched a video talking about the checklist for the course. After that, he talked about how to start a project and whatnot, and I basically followed along with putting the files together in the project. After that, it was time for the first real edit of the course, and that was to take this audio scene in blue, which sounded like this.
Are you ready to make delicious bread right in your own kitchen?
And then I basically synced up the video's audio with the separate audio in green, seen right here, to make it sound like this.
Are you ready to make delicious bread right in your own kitchen?
After that, he talked about how to do cuts in the video, and unfortunately, I don't know if you can tell, but he didn't use shortcuts. like hitting Q to trim the begin and W to trim the end. Anyway, after that, we learned how to put music in the video, and how to change the volume and whatnot, and then he talked about A-roll versus B-roll. After that, he talked more about B-roll, and then touched on color grading and some other effects that you can do with Premiere Pro. And then after that, day 1 was over. Alright, that was section 1. Now it's time for section 2 tomorrow. Day 2, I just got back from walking Brownie. But after taking my coat, jacket, and shoes off, it was time to put on my headset and get started with section 2 of the Udemy course. Day 2 was relatively easy because all I had to do was some reading. Watch a video about the new text-based editing. Do some more reading about some updates. And then watch a video about the hand speech feature.
Premiere Pro has a feature that can clear background noise to improve audio quality. Let's test it on this noisy demo clip.
It is Friday. It's a beautiful day outside. One of my neighbors is mowing their lawn.
I'm not gonna show the whole video, but y'all get the basic idea. And now it's time for day 3. Day 3, I was thinking about teaching my own course on Udemy, so I thought I should watch a video about that. But anyway, now it's time for day 3. The first thing I had to do for day 3 was to start a new project. Then it showed different ways to import files into your project. After that, he talked about the different project windows that you have in Premiere Pro. And then he talked about adding B-roll, titles, and organizing your workspace. And then he talked about adding a sequence, and that is all for day 3. Day 4 was on March 7th. Day 4, the first thing he talked about was how to set up new sequences in a video. Here, I created a sequence for the sourdough bread. And now he's talking about changing the framing of stuff and whatnot. And here he's continuing to talk about set up a new sequence the hard way, and then an easier way to set it up. And we're making a sequence out of some of the B-roll footage for the project. In this case, he's making flour for the sourdough bread. Here he briefly talks about the editing window. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of his editing window, because I like being able to see thumbnails of the stuff that's in my project window, and also easy access to effects. Here, I actually learned something new, and that was double clicking to view more of the clip on the timeline. Basically making the clip on the timeline bigger. And to do that, all I had to do was double click on the video. Anyway, after that, we added more things to the timeline, like music, B-roll, and other stuff like that. He then talked about adding clips to the timeline, either by dragging one clip into the timeline, adding multiple clips to the timeline, or go to the source monitor to find out the best clip to put in the timeline. He then went over this feature called Automate to Sequence, which is something I never used before. And as you can see, basically what it does is take the multiple clips you selected and turn it to a sequence with cross dissolve and constant gain on the timeline. And here I learned how to get rid of the empty space I had after making cuts to the video, and I still like using Q better. But anyway, after that I was trying to figure out what B-roll is good to use for this video. And also how to use Ripple Tool and other tools like that. And here, once again, I am syncing the good audio with the bad audio. And then making cuts to that. After that, I officially added in the B-roll I wanted to use for this video. After I added some more B-roll, I actually decided to mess with the effects controls. Maybe enhance some of the B-roll. After that, I learned about straight cuts, J cuts, and L cuts, which is more of a general editing thing, but it was still nice to learn in this Premiere Pro course. After that, I read about some more Premiere Pro shortcuts, and also I watched a video about the text-based editing feature. After that, day 4 was over. On day 5, he briefly discussed how to add keyframes to make what is known as the Kingsburn effect on videos. After that, he showed how to select multiple clips to add cross dissolve to them, and he also nested the clips to, I guess, resize all those clips. He then talked about the warp stabilizer effects and also showed off the different overlays that you could do on Premiere Pro with this video of him cutting the bread and also in the page of the book. He also added a circle mask to his face. And then he talked about how to create a split screen with his face and the B-roll, which looks something like this. He then talked about rescaling pictures on the timeline and also the Kingsburn effect with pictures on the timeline. He also discussed adding music to the timeline and matching it to your edits. He also talked about how to add letterboxes to videos, and also he talked about the different aspect ratios that videos have. And that is all for day 5. And then it was day 6, and the first thing he talked about was the different panels he likes to have open on Premiere Pro. He then talked about transitions, but he mainly stuck with using the cross dissolve transition. I then added in a different transition to one of the videos, and I also used the ruler to properly scale up a video. And this is like a new feature that I never really used before. He then talked about the different crossfades for audio and also how to use the pen tool on audio. Taking a break from the Sourdough Bread video, he talked about adding in custom transitions, and for this lesson I just followed along with. And then we had to make a new sequence to fix the audio of this vlog practice video that sound like this.
This is your test footage that includes handheld video along with some background noise. This is more of your typical vlog setting.
Didn't really sound too bad, but there was background noise, so this is part 1 of fixing that audio. And then it was day 7. On day 7, he then talked about how to use audio gain to make your clip louder or quieter. And as you can see, there's like different methods to use audio gain that I didn't really know about. He then talked about using essential sound to fix up the noisy audio. He then talked about using the denoise tool to fix audio. He then talked more about the essential sound tab. And then he talked about how to remix your song, which basically makes it longer. After messing with the audio a bunch, he added in a title, and that was it for day 6. And then it was day 8, and the first thing he talked about was the essential graphics tab and how to add a title to your video. He then talked about how to add a shape to your text and other features in the essential graphics tab. Skipping a little bit here, but the next thing he talked about is captions. And the transcription tool. And that is it for day 8. Alright, y'all. I've been working on this project all day. This video's already out. It's the Premiere Pro video on how to clone yourself. But I'm actually gonna stop editing for the day and work on Udemy. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to finish Udemy and then get back to editing because apparently it's a long lesson and I'm probably not gonna be done with it until 5, and 5's usually the time I stop doing editing. So something I could keep editing, but that happened yesterday, Thursday. I actually missed doing Udemy yesterday because I was instead editing the same video, funny enough. Actually, I filmed it. I filmed the video yesterday and whatnot, and today I am still editing it and thought I would be done, but I want to squeeze in some time with Udemy here. As you can see, the section is 1 hour and 54 minutes. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna do this for the rest of the day and then get back to the video whenever I can. I mean, when this video comes out, the Udemy video, that video that I was working on will already be out. But anyway, enough rambling. Let's actually get started with section 9. On day 9, the first thing we had to do was color correct this bluish clip to make it look more normal. And after using the basic correction tab, we use the creative tab to further fix what the clip looks like. And then for some reason, using a different clip, we mess with the curves tab. And then after that, we learned how to use the color match tool, which good thing I did, because when I did the color grading video, I didn't properly know how to use it, so now I know, and I'll be more prepared to do the color grading video whenever that happens. Anyway, after that, and after the color match tab, we did the HSL secretary tab. And for some reason, I thought it would be funny to change the color of his shirt. And then we also did the vignette tab. And then I got a better understanding on how to change colors of stuff. And the reason why I say better understanding of changing colors is because the last time I did that is because this is my last attempt changing color or something. It looks terrible. Anyway, moving on. He talked about more color grading stuff, and after that, day 9 was over. And then it was day 10. And on day 10, he went over some effects like blurring and one effect I don't know about, and that is mirroring a video. Talked about how to turn on and off effects. And in this case, the clip turned black and white, the kid's burn effect. And then he talked about how the blur faces, and he used a different blur than I normally do. I usually use fast blur while he used the mosaic style blur. But anyway, after that, day 10 was over. Halfway done because we're on section 11. Woo! Yes, I was right. It was finally time for day 11, the halfway point of this video. And what he did was showed the different ways to export. And the first way he showed was quick export. And also the normal way to export. And after I exported the video, I was done with the sourdough bread video. And here is a clip of that.
Ready to make delicious bread right in your own kitchen? In this video, I'll show you the exact steps to making your first sourdough bread loaf. I'll show you the entire process step by step, and by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to fill your kitchen with the sweet aromas of a freshly baked loaf of bread. If that sounds good to you, keep watching this video.
How was that? Anyway, after that, we weren't done with exporting yet because we had to do some reading about exporting, and this mentioned that sometimes when you export, there's some issues with the color grading, which is not really good, but I don't really have this issue. But after that, it was time for day 12. And it was time for day 12. Day 12 was all about video speed, so that's what I'm doing right now. The first method he showed was speed and duration, and then he talked about speed ramps, which is sometimes still new to, but I got speed and duration down. Now, even though I said I'm pretty good at doing speed and duration, I didn't know about frame blending or optical flow, but now I do. And then he talked about interpret footage, which is something I never used before, and it seems very complicated, but it basically changes the frames per second. And here is where he talked about speed ramps, which looks very complicated too, and I still to this day not sure how to exactly do it. Lastly, he talked about doing frame holes, and that is all I have for day 12. Green screen time. Yes, that is right. Day 13 was all about doing green screen, which is really fun to do. And then he talked about the different channels that green screen has, like compository, alpha, and color. And he talked about getting realistic with the green screen. Like, he tried to make it look like he was actually there in the train station or wherever he was in this picture. But anyway, that is all for day 13. Alright, y'all. It's a little later today. It's actually 11. But it's time to do Udemy. And right now, we're on section 14. Let's do this. First thing I learned how to do on day 14 was organizational things such as marking your clips and changing the color of certain clips, like me changing the color of the B-roll here. And after that, I learned how to export frame holes. And then he talked about how to nest clips. And then he showed off the library tab, which I'm not a huge fan of because I like having access to the effects tab and all the other windows. And then he talked about how to make proxy files for videos. And during the course, there was a few times where he went outside of Premiere Pro, and this was like one of them because he used Media Encoder to make the proxy file. And then he talked about the auto reframe feature. And then he talked about a keyboard shortcut that I didn't know about, and that was hitting the tilde key to make any window in Premiere Pro full screen. And here, once again, he went outside Premiere Pro for After Effects to add in some advanced effects to this clip, which is the warp sequence. And after that, he did multicam, which looks something like this, and I did a lot of cuts with this multicam feature. And then he talked about how to link and group clips. And then he talked about simplifying sequences, and that is all I have for day 14. It's time to do Udemy once again, and I'm joined by Brownie and Precious. Alright, let's do this. We're on section 15. Alright, let's go. The first thing he talked about on day 15 was making your titles look better. And then he talked about this new text feature, and that is track matte, and I have never used that before. And he was talking about this light leak filter, and for some reason I felt the need to look it up. And speaking of light leaks, the next thing we did was actually put in a light leak to your video. Now, the next thing felt a little random, and that's because we were trying to add an vintage look to this video. I'm not sure why, but it's something you can do in Premiere Pro, I guess. Another random thing he talked about was the typewriter effect. Again, not too sure why he was talking about the typewriter effect, because it was a little random, but it was still nice to learn nonetheless. After that, using this motorcycle clip, we did this zoom in effect with the transform effect. And he talked about revealing text with something walking by, and I thought this was like really cool. Basically what he did was put a mask over the text, and then as the person is walking by, the mask disappears and you can see the text. Which is like really cool to do. And here's my attempt at doing it. Here he did something else random, and that was adding a VHS look to this video, and I just like watched along. But anyway, that is all for day 15. On day 16, we had to do more advanced color grading, and the first thing we did is to make this clip look like it has a more cooler color tone. And then with the same clip, we made it look like I had a warmer tone, which I really sucked at, and after that we made these clips look like they were black and white. And that was all for day 16. Day 16 felt like an unneeded lesson, and that's because we had to do this Nike style split screen, and for some reason I decided to go with karate, and my attempt was not as good as the original Nike video. Anyway, after that, day 16 was over. On day 17, I had Chester and Precious wanting to do the lesson with me. And day 17 was all about stock footage, and because this is like a Premiere Pro course, it was kind of weird for this lesson to be all about stock footage. But anyway, after that, I had to do some reading about stock footage and also look up this website about stock footage. And then I actually visit the stock footage website he was talking about. And then going back into Premiere Pro, he actually talked about the essential graphics tab and the stock footage that is in there. And then go outside of Premiere Pro again, he was talking about downloading fonts and whatnot. And he also talked about this Instagram intro thing. Again, I am not too sure why he went outside of Premiere Pro so many times in this course. He even used After Effects again for this complex motion graphic, and it's okay to do this if it's like an After Effects course, but this is like a Premiere Pro course, so I'm not sure why he did this. But anyway, after the conclusion video, it was time for day 19. Section 19. We got 4 sections left. Woo! Now, for some reason, when I was screen recording for day 19, the video and the Udemy course was messed up. Like, as you can see in the screenshot here, it was like blacked out, but everything else was fine. I don't know why that happened, but day 19 was basically all about video edited terms, and right now I'm like showing a screenshot of the terms we like talked about and whatnot. So now it's time for day 20. Back with Udemy, and we're on to section 20, and this is gonna be a long one. Oh boy. Here we go. The first thing that day 20 talked about was how to reverse clip, and he also talked about adjustment layers. And then he talked about how to make a square video. And then he talked about adding this more advanced transition with the blur effect, with a push transition. He also talked about a zoom transition, and also this weird looking rotate effect. And he also talked about keyboard shortcuts. And he talked about split screen, and that is all I have for day 20. Alright y'all, it's finally time for the last 2 sections. Section 21 is like a very long one. 7 hours and 47 minutes. Like what the heck? And the last one, the reason why I'm like doing that like right after section 21 is because it's literally just 2 minutes. So we're gonna combine the 2, so it's gonna be like 8 hours probably to do section 21 and section 22. And after that we'll be done. And I don't know how long I gotta wait to like get the certification. I don't know if it's like automatic or I gotta wait, but anyway, we got the last 2 sections here, and this is how long section 21 is. It seems like what I just did, but I don't know. Some of them sound a little different, as you can see, but yeah, we're gonna do all of that today, and then I guess the conclusion later after that, and then we're done. I can't believe we're like done already, like wow. Anyway, enough talking, let's get the last 2 sections started. Like I said, section 22 is a very long section, so what I did was, instead of doing it for the full 7 hours, I actually worked on it for like an hour each day, for like 2 days until I was done. And as you can see, I'm working on another project, and that was like a 1-minute documentary about Anthony Carvajal, talking about level of ALS. And as for the Udemy video, I'm only using clips related to that video. And then finally, the video was done. Here's a clip of that.
Same year I was diagnosed, that summer the whole ALS Ice Bucket Challenge phenomenon went viral. Everyone that I knew and their mama's baby's mama doing the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, dumping ice water over their head. Nobody talks about this disease because it's ugly, you know, that doesn't go viral, but as soon as somebody does something random and fun, it goes viral, and so that's what I did. And the first day I got 100,000 views. And then the next day I got 1 million. We're getting all this love and encouragement, like it was just insane. The biggest thing to me meant that I wasn't alone. For a disease that literally will take away my voice, for a demographic of people that is small and underserved and has never gotten the level of awareness that it's ever needed, this was huge for us. But we still need a lot more support. It was one summer of fun, but this disease is every day for us, and it's still here, and there's still no cure. And so we need continued support until this beast is gone, you know?
Once I was done with the documentary, it was time for day 22. Oh man, the last section, and then we're done. Oh man. Day 22 was a farewell video, and also 2 messages from Phil. This message and this message. And after reading the messages, it was time to get the certification. Alright guys, we just finished the course and now we have get certification. There we go. Ooh. Alright y'all, this is the certification for completing the Premiere Pro course. I thought it was gonna be like something else to be honest, but yeah, it's done. And with that being said, it's time for the outro. Alright y'all, that's the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed. At this point, it's been a few days since I did the course and it was really fun. But as you heard in the voiceover, there was like a few things that I would like to critique about it. In the beginning, I did like learn stuff about it, like there's a few shortcuts that I didn't know and a few editing methods that I was curious about and whatnot. But as the course went on, it was like some stuff I didn't like. Like there was a few times where he went outside Premiere Pro for like After Effects and Audacity. Like I don't know why he did that. And also copyright-free sites where you can like find music and sound effects and whatnot. I mean, I didn't know about those sites, but the thing is, you do have to pay, and you're already paying for Premiere Pro, and that I was not a huge fan of. And sometimes you feel like slow about lessons. I mean, if you're an absolute beginner, I guess it's okay to be a little slow with teaching, but I wish it was like faster with it. Kind of like there's this YouTuber called Premiere Basics, where he like teaches stuff about Premiere Pro and whatnot, and I like his teaching style. So if I was to do another Premiere Pro course on Udemy, I feel like Premiere Basics, if he has a course on Udemy, I would like do that, but for now, I think I'm satisfied with the course that I did, even though I had like some complaints about it. I'm probably not gonna rate it on Udemy, but I'm gonna rate it here in this video. I would rate it, this is the rating right here. Not too bad, I would say. Now, I have some plans for Udemy. As you may or may not know, I've been doing Premiere Pro videos where I teach things about Premiere Pro myself, and I am thinking about making my own course about Premiere Pro on Udemy. I don't know when I'm gonna make the course, but I'm hoping to have it out soon. I'm not sure how I'm gonna like make the lessons. I think I might start out with like a beginner's course, and then like later on post more advanced stuff. I'm not sure how I'm gonna like post the course and whatnot, but it is something I wanted to do because I'm like already doing it on YouTube and I would like to expand my knowledge to like Udemy and whatnot. Again, I'm not sure when that's gonna happen, but if it happens by the time I make the next Premiere Pro video in May, I might announce it then. Can't wait to be doing that soon. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and don't forget to keep on signing. Bye!